Hello Twin Flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Today I will do a special edition reading. This is gonna be messages from Divine Masculines. Not exactly messages, not only messages, let's put it that way. I do have my Oracle deck, so I'll definitely get some tea spilled from them at the end of the reading on what is going on, what are they thinking about, what's in their heart and mind towards the connection, towards the feminines. But we will do a more of an energy read. We will get, apart from the general energy read, we'll get a couple other questions. Will be secret questions that will be revealed as we go along, and we'll get answers on what is going on with DMs in that particular area, how they're tackling that specific question. And of course, I'm gonna start with an oracle deck. So let's see what the Sacred Traveler Oracle is telling us on what's going on with DMs in general. So whether you're a Divine Masculine or a Cross Watcher, Divine Feminine, there will be something here for you, and hopefully I will bring more clarity and guidance towards where you are, where your DM is, and next steps in the journey. Also, please remember that when we speak about the masculine energy, it's not necessarily just a separate person who is a masculine. That's I'm talking to DFs right now. Different ways you can interpret this reading, you know, because we also have our divine masculine inside of us. Like, it's a yin yang, right? Where our part is like the yin, a feminine, but it has a little part of that masculine energy inside. So, and it's important for us to have our masculine energy intact as well, to have it balanced, to have it at bay, to have it in a healthy, integrated state. So you can also read this reading as to what is going on with the masculine energy in your life, and maybe there is something that you need to take action on or review your belief system about. So let's see, we have the first card, Narrow Pathway. Tread thoughtfully. Yes. And I feel like that's what exactly DMs are thinking about. Like, it may not be as narrow, but that's what it seems to them. You know, like from the distance, certain things seem so small. Like it's kind of like that. Like it's because they're fearful to take this pathway. It seems even scarier and more dangerous than it actually is. Miracles, expect the wondrous to emerge. I love this card. It's one of my favorites for sure. And wise leader, you're a beacon for others. So that's the scary part, right? When you see those opportunities to prove yourself or to show yourself in a leadership position, you know, you get cold feet. Maybe that's what you've been thinking about, talking about ever since you were little, and you thought, yeah, I'm definitely fit for the XYZ, right? Or, you know, I'm gonna be teaching others how to do ABC, right? Teaching profession in any shape, in any capacity, is a leadership position as well. And as twins, we are all teachers, of course, whether it's an official title or not. That's just how it is. That's our essence, that's our nature, right? And maybe like you felt that calling to be a teacher for others, to be an example for others, but you haven't had the chance to go out and implement it in your life. And now that opportunities are coming in, those miracles are coming in, you're like, ooh, wow, that may be too big for me, or yeah, I'm not sure I'm qualified, or something along those lines. Some cold feet over there. Like, maybe that opportunity hasn't knocked on your door yet, but you already you feel that anxiety under your skin, like running through your blood, you know. It's very interesting. Okay, so let's get 5 of Wands just flew out. Yeah, definitely some karmic stuff that's keeping I'm hearing that's keeping this is the movie Terror, by the way, so we'll see if we get some major arcana characters to read about. There's a lot going on in the karmic perspective. It can be actual events, it can be more of like thoughts or going around to a certain situation from the past. Remember, still have quite a few retrogrades this month, which means that You can be reminiscent about old experiences, but now in a new light, with a new perspective, and you may see them completely different. So for some, it's like that old stuff is coming around to show like what it was really about, or what was healthy and unhealthy there, like to see it was a completely different new perspective. But it's that perspective about those events, it's given a new taste to what is going on right now, or how DMs want to build their life going forward. It's that sudden aha moment, even from the past events. For a few, it's what is happening right now, right in front of them. But it's also calling for this kind of taking a step back and seeing a bigger picture, not just this event in isolation. But for example, if it's, let's say you have an argument without a specific with a specific person, so this will draw your attention to like the bigger picture of the pattern with this person. Like every time we touch this topic, that's where it ends. Or every time they ask me to help, they end up blaming me for something. Like, it's given this visibility, this insight, that it's not just an accident, it's not just somebody's having a bad day. And yeah, I've given them cut some slack, I've given them excuses and second and third and 24th chances, but it keeps happening. It's a pattern that gets masculines into more of that fearful state when it comes to new big opportunities, just because they're not in that stable energy right now to just face it head on and take the bull by the horns, so to speak. Okay, so let's get 3 cards for general energy, and then we'll have one question and answer, and we'll have another question and answer. Bottom of the deck, 3 of Cups. Yeah, there is a desire to let your hair down, divine masculines, to celebrate, to just have some fun without having all this responsibility to worry about. And maybe because it's been like that for a while now, and you feel that pressure, that burden, and it keeps weighing on you more and more. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, of course, who wouldn't? But the universe is also saying with that card that if there is an opportunity for you to celebrate, to go out, if somebody invites you, or you just get an idea, or maybe you heard about this new spot in town that you want to check out, that's a sign from the universe. This is exactly what you're supposed to do. So don't be like, oh, no, I've got all these responsibilities, or that person would be counting on me to finish this job. No, that's like you're supposed to get yourself out of that routine that you have, in this case in a bad way, a negative connotation. Okay, let's see what's the energy like. We have Page of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, 5 of Swords. I don't think I'll be reading this card, and I've read it more than once, I think. But notice another 5, and we also have the Page energy, which is quite a immature energy. It's like lack of confidence, like I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing with this. And that actually matches the 5 of Swords, which is the illusion, right? It's like the fate is bringing in, I just spoke about it a little, is bringing in certain events that actually help masculine understand better and learn what is healthy, what is unhealthy, what was an illusion when somebody was manipulating them, right? And they had that idea for a long time that the person actually has good intentions. It just, for some reason, it just never works out well. Or they get themselves in trouble all the time. They're just unlucky that way. But they have good, like their heart is in the right place. And now they're seeing, nope, no way, no freaking way. It's been a manipulation all along, even if that person didn't realize that. Like, that cannot happen. Oh, come on. Right? So this is fated. This is for you, divine masculines, to see what's real and what's not in your reality. And who would you be giving your cup of love to? Right? Who would you be trusting to? How do you tell if you can trust a person or not? That's the big question of the day. Right? So the Wheel of Fortune is bringing in the events that will show you clearly. And even if they show you who not to trust or which situations not to trust, that's already a really good start. I mean, and of course, once you get your grasp on like the whole idea of how that manipulation worked, you can study it more. You can again revisit those older examples and see how could you have told, like how could you have known, right? Or what would be the right response in this situation? Because we can't just immune ourselves from, you know, facing this kind of people in our life, right? But we can be prepared with knowledge, with guidance, with listening to our intuition. And the more we uncover this kind of patterns and bring them more to a conscious mind, A, the easier it gets to recognize them with our mind, and B, it helps us connect more to our gut feeling, because that's when the connections happen. It's like a click sound, right? Like, oh yes, and that actually matches what my intuition is telling me, that this person's full of BS, or, you know, they're just full of toxic patterns. And like I said, the fact that they're not doing it on purpose doesn't mean that that's okay, or you know, that it's not causing any harm. That's a mistake. That's an illusion. That's the Five of Swords, by the way. The second question, we have Seven of Wands. What are the masculine standing up for today at this point when we are recording this? What is the thing that they need to protect and to be firm about? And we have the Hierophant and Two of Coins. It's their belief system, it's their set of values, like deep down. Keeping it fair, keeping it balanced. Being open, I'm hearing being open to opportunities that the life brings, but remembering responsibility behind it, how it impacts people around you. Yes, the Hierophant is a very responsible. It's the Godfather in this deck, right? So like, if you take on that much power and people listen to you, then you better have your values and priorities straight. You shouldn't be juggling. You should be changing your mind every day. That's nothing. That's why like it brings together the whole concept of values, right? Because if you have your values figured out, that's like the axiom that you have across your life, like a mantra. You don't think about it every time. You don't really reinvent it. It's just there. It's available to you, so that when you come to a situation that's confusing, or you're just for some reason not sure which decision to make, you can go back quickly to those axioms, to those mantras, and see what matches your values and what doesn't. Another question, King of Coins. Yeah, so masculines are working on their success in 3D, on being that worthy partner, on feeling successful and confident to appearing to make a move towards the DF. Maybe, why not, right? Like, it's not necessarily full-blown union, but it's even to like approach DF and start the conversation and at least have hope that something is possible here. What are they doing about that? What's going on? Ooh, more swords. Definitely a swordy energy today. But I've got that in the personal reading too, so I think it's a general vibe right now. Maybe because of the Mercury retrograde, because it's making us think and overthink and rethink around communication. And that's the sword energy itself, right? Whether it's thoughts or words. Three of Swords, Four of Swords. Yeah, so this is like... and it makes Seven of Swords together. It's just interesting because we had another 7 here. So 2 5s, 2 7s. But anyway, this is moving on from the heartbreak around failures and things that haven't worked out, that the masculines have put a lot of hope into in the past. Like maybe they've invested a lot, maybe they just had their heart in it, maybe they put all their eggs in one basket and it just all blew up in their face, right? So they are putting behind the heartache and the sorrow, and they're moving into this calm space where they can think clearly, where they don't have to be escaping the negative scenarios, but actually focusing on the positive, right? But in order to come out of this is also the card of meditation, of rest, of like taking care of yourself, bringing yourself to a peaceful, grounded state where you're more able to come up with better ideas, with innovative solutions. Remember yesterday, one of the questions we had was around creativity and how do we create. This is that the continuation of that message, of that energy, because it's the King of Coins knows how to create financial abundance, how to create family around them, community around them, how to create a home that they can be proud of, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, last but not least, we'll get some messages from DMs to DFs. What's in their heart and mind right now? Let's see. What would you like to share, Divine Masculines, with your feminines at this point? Yeah, we didn't see much about union today, but I'm getting it just because DMs have got a lot on their plate right now, and that's by design, like we saw with the Wheel of Fortune. And I mean, we are in a Mercury retrograde for another week, so who volunteers to have a big and important conversation with somebody important in your life during this time, huh? I'm hearing masculine saying, but we can have a lot of not so important conversations. It's all that sword energy. Okay, only 2 cards. They're not very talkative. I'm trying to stop fighting how I feel about you. Yeah, that's that 5 of Wands, by the way. That's the that's the effect or residual energy from all that karmic battling that they're facing, right? Because when you have to face a lot of resistance and fighting and standing up for yourself on the outside, it definitely translates onto the inside, and you almost start having a battle with yourself on like, am I doing the right thing? Is this the best way to go, right? Like that whole pattern of communication just kind of gets sucked into the mind space. And another message is, I'm trying to overcome my commitment issues. Yeah, so fear again. It's a fear, yeah. Fighting how I feel about you and commitment issues, yeah. But the commitment issues are going to be fixed once this is solved, when this question is answered, once this new source of creativity and confidence is found, where masculines can feel successful, can feel kind of proud of themselves, but in a good way, right? Where they know they have something to show up for, they have something to share with their feminines, you know, they, at the end of the day, imagine if they asked you to like live with them, right? Create a family. And they wouldn't have money to support this family or whatever, create this home, right? And it's not gonna look good if they're gonna say, okay, darling, I love you, let's move in together. By the way, I do have money to rent a place or to build a house, right? It's not gonna look very good. So this is a very important 3D prerequisite they are working towards, at least to an extent where they feel confident. That's the important part. And they will be guided to what it actually means. Then they're ready for the commitment. Then they'll stop battling their feelings. Because right now it's almost like their brain is like putting a stop to their feelings, and it's like saying, that's not wise, that's not smart, just doesn't make sense, you know? So it's not like they don't have the feelings, it's like the brain is like overriding it. Okay, I hope this has been good for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you all, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon. Bye, everyone.